Well, good morning. I'm Brady Borrell with KQKI News, your local news and sports leader, coming to you live from the Morgan City Fire Central Station here on Victor 2 Boulevard. I am joined with Morgan City Fire Chief Alvin Cockrum and Morgan City Police Chief Chad Adams. As you know, there is an upcoming sales tax proposition coming up on the April 29th election for Morgan City voters only, and early voting is underway now on both sides of the parish, but again, this is for Morgan City voters only, a sales tax election that would help fund pay raises and training personnel for both departments. Chief Adams, tell us what happened. How did this idea come about?
Well, the mayor and city council started looking at ways that we can bring our first responders' pay up. As most people know, that Morgan City Police Department officers only start at $13.09 an hour. Our fire department start at $8.36 an hour. $8.36 an hour, and we're trying to become compatible to other agencies. And we sat down and we looked at different avenues. And of course, going through the budget as a new chief, I was able to get our officers to $13.09 an hour, and that's it. There's no more money. That's even after making some pay cuts. That's some pay cuts, making some cuts at our department and moving some personnel around. And so we sat down with the mayor and council and came up with the idea of a sales tax. Not only with the sales tax that the citizens of Morgan City would pay, but also the people visiting Morgan City, coming here to shop and utilize our services as well.
Now, you mentioned a sales tax. Explain that versus a property tax. Why?
Well, because a property tax would only be the citizens of Morgan City that paid for our services, and we know that people that visit Morgan City utilize our fire department services. They utilize, we have paramedics now with the fire department. EMTs that are able to respond to medical calls. Same thing, we work in crashes and traffic and other calls of service with Morgan City Police Department, and that's citizens from other areas that's coming to visit that we service in. So we figured if we did a sales tax, everybody would be paying, not just the citizens of Morgan City, everybody that visits Morgan City and shops in Morgan City.
You mentioned to me earlier that during the day about during the day about 20,000 people due to workers coming in, shipyards, what have you, and then at night about 11,500. So it expands the tax base there. Chief Cockrum, you're trying to be more competitive with area departments. Tell us where you are now on the pay scale and where you want to go.
Right now, we're at the bottom of the pay scale. The departments around here pay $3 or $4 an hour. And most departments like Bobcat and Homer, $10 to $12 an hour. Some a little more, some a little less. But we're not even competitive with, say, a town like Franklin, a small town like that. They pay way more than we do. We just can't compete. We get people in, we train them, and then they move on to another department or another job. They can't stay here on what they're making. $8.36 an hour makes $19.07 a month. That's all they get, and it's just hard to keep people. And after you train them and go through what you have to go through with them, it's just hard to keep them. And you can't blame those folks for moving on.
And so, where would this? Right now, you said $8.36 an hour. That's where they are starting pay. Where would this take them if this sales tax if it's approved by the voters, if it passes? Where would this pay raise take them, and who would it affect in the fire department?
It would affect everyone in the fire department. The fire pay is based off the starting fireman's pay, and it goes at a certain percentage up the rank. We would be competitive with the area fire departments like Bowcane, Homer, pretty close to what Franklin is now. We would be competitive. We would stop losing our people to other departments.
Chief Adams, you had mentioned to me earlier that when you came on board as a police chief, in the past years, where were your officers at with their pay, and you were able to find another dollar, but where are you trying to go with this?
So where we at was, I think the pay was at $12.09 an hour. Chief Blair had negotiated for our police officers to get $1 an hour raise. That was just for our police officers, and there was no more money after that. So what I did was, when coming in the door, is I moved around some personnel, and I'm reducing some of the staff at the jail that we have there now, because we're not incarcerating that many more people anymore. It was housing anywhere from 80 to 90 prisoners a day. We're down to 10. average, maybe 20 on the weekend. So we're going to save probably the city there, probably about $200,000. With that, I was able to give all the supervisors a raise, like 16 more employees that didn't get that $1 an hour raise. But after that, I mean, we have no more money for any more raises or anything else.
Of course, the number one question on taxpayers' minds would be, where is the money going? You said you combed the budgets. Where did you find the biggest expense that you could cut? You said you moved some around. Where is the biggest expense that you have been working on?
So what I found is by not having a competitive pay and being shorthanded already, when people go on vacation or have an injury and go on leave, that creates a lot of overtime for our department. So if we were able to become compatible and have those officers on staff, taxpayers would save a lot of money because it wouldn't have all that overtime to pay.
All right. And Chief Cockrum, I know you've tried to comb your budget. You're down to the brass tacks, the bare minimum, and this would help you get them to where they need to be so you can have a fully serviced department.
Yes, as of now, we are running the minimum crews on our trucks. If I have a man on vacation or sick leave, I have to shut down a station. We'll have one station shut down almost 60% of the time this year. We just don't have the people to do it. We don't have the overtime to keep that up. So if I had enough people, and the only way you're going to get any people to come to work is come up on the pay. That way we could hire enough people to man these stations 24/7, which what we should be. But we just don't have the money for the overtime to do it, and we just don't have the people to do it without the overtime. The only way you're going to get it is raise the pay.
You both mentioned to me that it takes a lot of money to train new personnel, police and fire. It takes a lot of money. And then because of the low pay, you both said that you are losing personnel. You train them, it costs all this money. You're out that money because they'll go to another department.
Exactly. They don't want to go to other departments to go to other jobs. It cost us right at $10,000 to get a man to LSU to train, to equip him. You have to send him there with bunker gear, firefighting gear, and all the expenses it takes to go to LSU. When they come out there, firefighter 1 and 2, hazmat certified, the EMRs, the driver operators. So that you have to go do this for the certifications, and it costs us that much initially to get the man into the 14-week academy at LSU.
Obviously, the hopes are high in both departments that they want this to pass. Chief Adams, in closing, if this does or doesn't pass, tell us, what do you think it would do to the morale?
I think it'd be a huge morale booster. That's been a lot of issue with the morale at the police department and the fire department is the pay. So it would be a great morale booster. If it didn't, I think we're going to be in the same boat, same issue, wasting a lot of money, taxpayers' money on overtime, because we'll remain short-staffed. Us in the fire department, as the chief was saying, I mean, it costs me about $10,000 an employee also to go to an academy. So I lost 45 employees over the last 3.5 years. And, 75% of that was to go to other departments for more money. So to keep morale up, definitely want everybody to vote yes on the 29th. Go out and early vote if they can.
Thank you, Chief Adams. Chief Cockrum, your closing thoughts?
All we're asking you to do is help us help you. That's what we need. We need to get the pay up so we can keep our people, and we have some very good people. We need to keep those people, plus to get some more in here to have a full force where everybody has the same equal protection throughout the city.
And thank you both for your time. And again, that is on the April 29th ballot, a 1 half-cent sales tax for only the city of Morgan City to give pay raises to the firefighters and police officers in Morgan City. Early voting is open now on the 3rd Street Register of Voters Annex, also the Parish Courthouse in Franklin. You can vote now through Saturday, and then on Saturday, the election day on April 29th. You are seeing the proposition now on your screen. If you want to read it, you can also go to govote.com. Also, I want to note that this tax is in perpetuity. It does not renew every year or every 10 years. You don't have to go back to the polls. It's in perpetuity, so it would not be renewed. So that way firefighters and police officers, if it does pass, they don't have to worry every 10 years if it will need to pass or not. So again, you can go to govote.com, GEAUX vote.com for more details. I'm Brady Burrell for KQKI News, your local news and sports leader.